plaintiff, Thomas Mundell, was married to the defendant, but he says they divorced after his children told him that their mother was having an affair with their soccer coach. Thomas is suing because he claims his ex-wife is violating his visitation order. Defendant Laura Mundell denies cheating on Thomas and says she divorced Thomas because he was a lazy father. Laura says Thomas does not show up on his scheduled visitation days, and she's countersuing for attorney fees and emotional distress.
I'll start with you.
I met Laura back in 2001. I owned a bar at the time. She was my waitress. We started dating. She got pregnant right away. We ended up getting married. Back then, I lived a completely different life. I was single, I owned a bar, it was a dance club. I was doing drugs, I was drinking, doing all that stuff. And as soon as I found out she was pregnant, I quit all of it. That was 12 years ago, give or take.
Good.
I adopted her daughter, and then we had 3 kids together. I wasn't drinking at all during the three births.
How long were you all married?
We were married 10 years, we were separated the last 3.
Was the marriage problematic?
No, I wouldn't say so.
Why did you all divorce then?
She was having an affair with our soccer coach.
That's a problem. It's problematic.
Your Honor, that is untrue.
Is that why you on divorce?
No, it's not, Your Honor.
Why you divorced?
Because I was a single mom while we were married anyhow. Thomas was very lazy. He did nothing with the kids.
Oh, he didn't work?
He had 8 jobs in 1 year. That's not very consistent.
That's consistent work.
For somebody who's sitting home not
What's
working
the lazy
at all.
part? What was the lazy part?
The lazy part was what he did with the children.
What's that?
A lot of nothing.
Your Honor.
A lot of people work, but they still do things with their children.
Your Honor, I coached my kids' ball teams. I had my teeth knocked out during a game.
Hold on, you couldn't possibly have coached your child's team and being accused of doing nothing.
Oh, I coached our daughter's team. I coached
He
her
was an
boys'
assistant
team.
coach for 2 months.
Whatever, let's move on, ma'am.
Thank you.
You don't know how you sound. Talking about this man had nothing to do with his kids and he's the coach. Go ahead. What background do you want to give me before we get to this emotional distress, ma'am?
I also coached softball. I also coached soccer with the boys. And that was not the coach he was talking about. So I also did that too. And I did have...
You did a different coach?
No, I was the coach.
What are you saying?
I was the coach.
You weren't seeing the soccer coach?
No, I was the coach.
All right, good enough. Tell me about the emotional distress. Why are you suing her for that?
Okay. First of all, anybody who's been through affairs, it's pretty bad anyway. But I found out through my children. They're the one who told me. And as soon as they told me, I just collapsed right there in the living room.
She denies it ever happened. I guess I'll listen, but this never happened, did it?
But she...
Hold on, this never
That
happened,
is absurd.
did it?
Collapsed in the living room.
No. Your children telling him.
They never said anything
Not
to him
one?
like that. Not one.
Okay. What has happened since the divorce that causes you to sue her for emotional distress?
Okay, she basically was ricocheting back and forth between guys and places where she lived. She moved 6 times in 1 year. And here's the craziest
How does
thing.
that cause you distress, though?
Because our children are involved. She's introducing these guys to our children, every one. And she would rotate the picture on top of the entertainment center of her and her boyfriend to the next one, the next guy. The next guy.
Watch this. Is that true?
That is not true.
Right.
My witness and I have been together since August of 2008.
All right.
So there were no other men. And I have never lived with another man except for him.
All right.
Jeremy, Bill, John. I can go on.
Who is Jeremy?
Donald.
I have no idea
Her cousin's
who those people
husband.
are.
Sir, how does she cause you emotional distress other than having boyfriends come over to see her and your children
Our
seeing
children.
pictures?
Your Honor, she never lets me see my kids. That's really what I should be getting to, because that's what it's all about.
That's your emotional distress claim for the most part.
Sorry.
She has denied you what, visitation?
Like, I've been with them throughout that time. She's inconsistent. It's whenever she goes out on a whim. Anytime I would post a picture online of me and my girlfriend, she'd get mad for some reason. Nope, they're not going. They're sick, they're tired, it's late. Whatever the reason was, she wouldn't let me pick them up. So I called the attorney. He said, well, call the cops, get it documented that she's not doing that. So I'd call the cops, they would show up, they wouldn't do anything. So then they started saying, well, file a family access motion. The first one I filed, she got put in contempt in our divorce
Do you
hearing
have
for
that?
it.
That is not true.
I don't have the first time.
Because I was never charged
Yes.
with
Have
contempt.
any other
Yes, I have 4 different police reports.
No, not police reports.
Okay, no, I don't have anything on the contempt. I do have the second family access motion that I was told
The
to file.
motion.
Your Honor, we have a third motion that he filed.
When was that?
That was just
Friday.
this Friday,
Asking what? Visitation again?
No, I
saying
walked.
that I denied him visitation from June 4th to June 7th. And he
And-
was not in the state of Missouri at that time.
Is that true?
On what?
You don't know what you filed recently?
No, yes, I know what she said. I was out of town, and I was out of town. They were notified. My children was notified.
He
So
filed
hold
that
on.
order.
Did you file a claim alleging she denied visitation?
When I came back on the
Your
next
Honor,
weekend.
I have it right here. It says June 4th to June 7th.
Let's see it, please.
When I got back, I was supposed to be back on that Sunday. She knew that. Everything was fine.
Sir, you said she denied you from June 4th through June 7th. Did she or did she not?
Yes.
Were you in town?
I guess I wasn't.
You weren't. Yet you claim that she violated an order even though you weren't even in town. And she had to get a lawyer, obviously.
Yes, I did.
And that's why you want your attorney fees.
Yes, I did.
Your Honor,
Frivolous
she
claim because he was out of town.
Absolutely.
Your Honor, she never lets me see my kids.
The marriage problematic?
No, I wouldn't say so.
Why did you all divorce then?
She was having an affair with our soccer coach.
That's a problem.
I also coached soccer with the boys, and that was not the coach he was talking about, so I also did that too. And I did
You
have,
did a different coach?
no, I was the coach.
Defendant Laura Mundell is being sued by her ex-husband, who claims he divorced Laura after she had an affair with their child's soccer coach.
When was the last hearing you had, sir?
Friday,
And what happened at that hearing?
I walked up to the judge and said, I give up fighting for my kids because it doesn't matter what I do. I've shown up there 10, 15 times with the cops.
That's not
Granted
true.
the dates on that.
Sir?
I filed 3 different family access motions, a PDL. I have a parenting plan in my divorce. The cops won't enforce it. The judge can't do anything. And I told the judge, with the utmost respect, it does not matter how you rule. Because when she wants to keep the kids, she just gets them. The cops say, we can't get involved because it's
Your Honor, that's not true. Our
Quiet.
court
How old are the
papers say-
children?
6, 9, 10, and 11. Or 16, sorry.
I applaud you for wanting to be in your children's lives. And I believe that it's possible and perhaps likely that she has played visitation games throughout the years. Women and men, they manipulate this. The kids don't want to see me because she's poisoned them in their head, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I have witness statement after witness statement of
All
people
of that.
who
And she's going to show me something where the daughter says, well, he didn't come at the time he said he was going to come. My father never does anything right. My father cussed at me or my... You have those letters, right?
Yes, I do.
I know what I'm talking about, sir. What children saying this, ma'am?
The 16-year-old. She says that she loves her dad,
Okay, good.
but through all of the bashing
Yeah.
and the text messages that he posted on the internet really got to her.
What do you have that has affected your daughter since he's over here
This is going to
in
affect
tears
my
about wanting to see the children? Let's see how he
I
has
have the
affected the
effect of
children with
the-
his own behavior.
16-year-old daughter and then the 10-year-old son.
Ha ha with the word, degrading term toward a woman.
you would have to know her.
Oh, well,
Then you say, I hate you. I don't want you in my life. I got the DNA test. You called us some names there, doctor.
Your Honor,
Your
can I
Honor,
say
that's what my
something?
10-year-old son read.
I love you and your brothers tremendously, and I always will. He just kind of gave up on this. And he says again, to you, I cannot fight anymore. So as I told you, sir, I believe she's played games with your visitation. There's no question in my
Your
mind.
Honor, I just cracked and I told her everything I thought about her. And
That's not who I am. That's not who I want to be, and it's exactly who I was becoming. And that's why I quit, because I don't want to be that.
What do you want to say, ma'am?
He was awarded custody that started at Saturday at 6 p.m. until Tuesday morning at 9. And he was also awarded Thursday nights from 5 to 7:30. He has not once attempted to pick the kids up on Thursday since the beginning. He told my children to their face it wasn't worth it. It was a waste of his time.
Your Honor.
And I have all the dates of his vacations that I have kept the children. I have no problem with that.
Yeah.
But he has not had them in over 5 weeks. We sit at our house every Saturday at 6 o'clock. When 6:05 comes, I have to explain to the boys where Daddy is.
Your Honor,
It's
the
hard.
very first time on Thursdays, I even explained this to
Let's talk about these Saturdays.
Okay.
She said she has to explain where you're at. Do you
On
fail to
Saturdays,
come? Yeah.
I show up with the cops. He comes out all threatening me.
All right.
That
She
is
comes
not
out.
true.
What do you want attorney fees for, ma'am?
$2,000 for hiring an attorney
To do what?
to
Hand it to me.
redo custody and for the charge that he filed against me that was untrue from June on
Your
June
Honor,
4th.
if she wouldn't keep keeping my kids from me, she wouldn't even have to have an attorney. I wouldn't
Your Honor,
even
he
be
doesn't
here.
show up for his kids.
So
the
I
time.
have to
I have-
deal with what's
He
in
does
front of
not
me,
have
sir. I'm
police
sorry if you've
Okay,
been
let me
frustrated
submit
and
these
everything.
statements from all these people in police reports.
Let's start right here, which is verifiable. Once again, you filed a motion for family access order alleging she refused to allow you to exercise your visitation from June 4th through June 7th, yet you were out of town those days.
I ran to the courthouse and filed that.
So
really
you
quick. I'm
caused this
sorry.
woman to incur a legal fee under false pretense. You can't go to court and lie, and that's what you did here. Judgment for you, ma'am. I'm just granting you the legal fees. All this emotional distress that you all are going through, you all going to have to work that out yourselves or continue going through it. I'm denying any emotional distress from either party. Judgment for the counterclaimant for the attorney fees. Have a good day, folks. Yours is dismissed. I'm sorry.
I believe you keep the kids from me, and I give up.
Thomas, you don't show up at the house at 6 o'clock on Saturdays, you can't get your kids if you're not there.